So, we're building a deck here, and I've poured some pads here. These were about 12 inches deep by, let's see, 24 by 24. And I put these rebar saddles in to hold that, to hold the beam up. I've got 3 beams here. See, it's slightly off this, so it's got some structure of its own. And right now I'm making this ledger plate. So I've also decided, after I put the beams in level, but I also decided afterward to give it a little bit of slope. So I put a 3/4 inch piece in the middle here, as you can see. And that raises that end up about 1 1/4 inches. So we got about 1 1/4 inches of positive slope out to that end. Hopefully that keeps the water moving in the right direction. Here we have, I'm putting joist hangers on the plate that's going on the wall. This has always been a problem. So what I do, I need to leave a little gap in between there, because it's more of a problem if the joist hanger tends to want to go up a little bit, and then you have the joist actually riding up above that. So as you can see, there's a little strip in there, and how I accomplish that is to put one side on and leave that little strip out, and then nail that one side, and then I can usually control that. I get about 1/8 in between there. It's easier to shim it. It's easy to shim it up if you need to, but it's a real pain in the butt if the joist rides up too high and you have to shave a little bit off the bottom of it. So that's just to take care of any discrepancies in width, and makes a nice job on the joist hanger. So here's the deck with all the joists in, going over those 2 beams that we poured the bottoms for. And I've got the front plate on this, so we'll be putting the top decking on it tomorrow or the next day. And this is what's called a grade level, or a grade level patio or something. Anything that's not 16 inches above ground has a different qualification apparently, and you could do this and it doesn't count as a cover, as a deck where it uses up space on your house footprint on your land. Anyway, this went together pretty good. Ended up squaring it off here rather than curving it off, and this is all treated 2x8s, and the beams are set in big concrete pads. They actually turned out to be about 12 inches deep, which is probably a little more than they needed to be. They only needed to be 8, but got the holes dug a little deep, and they'll probably last forever there now. So I got to figure out some way of getting around that tree, and well, that'll be an easy one anyway though. So, all done, ready for the top on the deck. We've got some nicely milled cedar. It's a full inch by 5.5, and I'm nailing that on with just with the galvanized pins to start with. You can see my spacer in there. There's a little glazer's tool. It's about 1/8. This wood is kind of wet. I'm thinking it's going to shrink as it dries out, so if you do more than 1/8, then the gaps between will get too big. I'm just pinning it for now till I got it all on. Then I'm going to go through and screw it with deck screws that are, I guess they got a silicone kind of coating on them. So, but these were milled at a mill, and they were not square on the ends, as you can see here. So I've got to cut all the ends on this stuff to get at least one square end, which I use them in the alternating pattern in the middle, and then the ends here at the end of everything I'm going to string a line on that and cut that square straight with my skill saw. Call it my skill saw because it needs a little skill to finish, to work on. So there you see the footings underneath here, great big 12 inches deep by 2 feet by 2 feet, and they've got these galvanized saddles that are sitting on a piece of rebar into the bottom of that. Another footing here. See the saddle a little better. See the saddle over there. And I better get back to work and get this done.